sorry. To the best success story organized by the BDVe project, which is the Big Data Value Ecosystem project, the coordinator and support action of the Big Data Value PPP. We are really happy to be here one more year after the success of the previous edition of this ceremony organized last year in Riga, in Latvia, during the Big Data Value Summit in June. So before going ahead with the ceremony, I would like to acknowledge all our sponsors and that has collaborated and supported us during the celebration of this event, which has not been possible without their support and collaboration. So my name is Daniel Alonso. I am a project manager at ITI, Research and Technological Center in Valencia, in Spain. I am here really happy with my colleagues from BDVE project. I am again in BDVE project, and I am with my colleague Julija. She's also involved in BDVE, and she's project manager in Tilde, an SME in Latvia, and also my colleague Jean-Christophe Pazzaglia, who is the project manager of the project BDVE, and he's also involved in SAP France. So the structure of this session will be as it is shown now here. After my introduction, my colleague Jean-Christophe will present, because he's the brain behind this story, this activity, he will present the main insights behind this activity that I mentioned before. Last year was the first edition. Then we will present the winners, both for the SMEs and project categories. And then we will also present the runners-up of both categories, SMEs and project of the PPP. Then we will move to the best video presentation. So my colleague Julija will do a brief introduction, and after that we will see the video that has won the prize this year. And after that, my colleague Jean-Christophe just will close the session and will do a short wrap-up. So now, Jean-Christophe, I think that, again, since you are the brain behind this activity, you are the creator of this contest, now the floor is yours. You can present the content of the activity.
Thanks a lot for this nice introduction, Daniel. I'm not the only brain, and I'm not only a brain, I will say. So basically, the story, to make it short, we started to talk together with Anna and Nuria about the monitoring report 2 years ago, and trying to find out how we can best support, let's say, to advertise what we are doing. And while the monitoring report is a perfect tool, I would say, for some communication, I think for other target group, it's quite difficult to pass the message of the great stuff that are ongoing on other project. So we think, okay, maybe we should think about what can be a way to do it, and then we came with this idea of having this kind of success stories, which are like, let's say, customer testimonials or end user testimonials about what you're doing within the project, and this is how we started this idea. We did the first contest last year, and that was presented live in Latvia, and the winners that were transport with the runner-up, which was Databio, get a free ticket to join us at Helsinki for BDVF, and presented their story at BDVF too. So this year we had 21 stories and 10 videos. So the novelties of this year is that we decided to do 2 categories, because last year we figured out that it was really difficult to compare stories, I would say, from project and from startup. And that reason why also last year we have runner-up, and we have we find out a way also to acknowledge the work from a startup. And we said this year, let's do something different, and then they can compete with their peers and not with a bigger project. And then we also think that it will be nice to have also a video contest. We have 10 videos that participate in that. So basically trying to have another medium for that. Here you have some words. They are not all of them, but about the title, the domain, and this is quite interesting. How wide are the work that you are doing within the projects. So it's going from cybersecurity to environment to transport, and also to support EU policy, cybersecurity, and so forth. So this is a really wide and it's really difficult actually to select the best success story because they're all so different, and they all, as I said, they're all crispy and so forth. But we have to make a choice. So we, just to be transparent, we had I think almost 10 people from BDVA and BDVe that review all of the success story blindly. We have the blindly. I mean, everybody gave their marks, and then we aggregate that, and then we have a consensus meeting to be sure that everybody is happy with the selection. So and this is the way we get the people that will be on show today. So what we are doing with your success stories, actually, we are using to promote your project, your companies, and obviously the BDV PPP. So all of the success stories that participated this year get a social network campaign, and this is, I think, the huge work that Daniel, together with our colleagues from Ogilvy, are doing. You have today the EBDF session, and we prepared with some of the story. It will be one chapter of the book that will be soon published. That is called "The Elements of Big Data Value." That was ideated within BDVA. That will present a lot of different activities, and part of them we decided to put the success story. Okay. So the runner-up, just to make it very, and they are all there, so you can maybe wave when I think your name. So we have the DMMS Accelerator, IBDAS, GOT, UbiWare, Musketeer, and Crowd that propose stories that were selected as runner-up, and that will be presented right now. So you see on the left on the project side, and on the right on the SME side. And the winners, and this is normally we say that at the end, but just to make you aware from the scratch, we have for the project award data pitch, and all of the good work that was done with data pitch that will be presented with respect to boosting investment for the BDV PPP related innovation, data-driven innovation. Then I would say we have a SME award, and this is the Orbem that was provided. That is also supported by EDI. That is a very nice story about something that you will never think that you can do with AI. I think, and you will discover that. I don't want to uncover the surprise, but I think when we read that, say, wow, you can do that with AI, and you can save lives with AI, I would say, which life. And finally, the video award, which is also runner-up for the startup, which was from Beware. So now it will be the turn of our contestant to talk. So let's start with the winners. So the first one to talk will be Elena from Data Pitch. So I will ask you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning.
And the show yours. And you remember, the time is starting now.
Thank you. Thank you, Jean-Christophe. And we can move to the next slide. Good morning, everyone. I'm Elena Simperl from King's College London. Until January this year, I was at the University of Southampton. In that capacity, I was the coordinator of Data Pitch. At Data Pitch, we understood that data has the potential to create huge value for organizations. And by organizations, I mean literally every organization, because in today's times, every organization is a data organization and needs to understand itself as such. Data Pitch had the mandate to connect supply and demand in this space. So on the demand side, we had 39 data organizations, large corporates, public sector institutions, SMEs, but also other Horizon 2020 projects. These proposed critical challenges that could be solved by sharing data to enable machine learning and AI. On the supply side, we had startups and entrepreneurs with the energy, the capability, creativity, ambition to turn that data into novel products and services. Our innovation program funded and supported 47 such startups and entrepreneurs from 13 countries, which engaged with data holders across 28 challenges. They generated more than 100 jobs and more than 22 million euros of additional impact through further investment, sales, and efficiencies. We have on the slide some of the success stories of our startups. 3 happen to be from healthcare. So that's an area which also in our impact assessment was identified as high potential. And 1 from patent law and market intelligence. Their stories are on the DataPitch website, and I would encourage you to have a look to get to know them better. Because this is a celebration not just of the achievements of DataPitch as a program, but also of the achievements of the SMEs and the startups we supported. In 2019, we commissioned London Economics to assess our impact during the project and beyond. And this is basically a summary of their findings. Next slide, please. According to their assessment, DataPitch enabled innovation that would have not otherwise occurred. We provided a platform for open innovation enabled by shared data in a low-risk, lean setting. By 2022, London Economics estimated a 4.5-fold return on investment on the public money that we have received. They have also made a series of recommendations, a clearer focus on startups with an MVP, with a product or service in some stage would increase the overall performance. The concept of an SME is very broad, and future public calls could consider being more nuanced in what they target to increase impact. The same can be said about the type of challenges included in the innovation program. We have found that sectoral challenges, which focus on data solutions across a sector, that rather than for a particular data holder, would be higher impact because they would allow us to achieve better economies of scales and higher yields on public funding investment. Further on, our pan-European approach was a huge bonus. 94% of all engagements between supply and demand were cross-border across different European countries. Finally, the study showed clearly that access to data affects the ability of the startup to attract funding. On average, startups attracted 141,000 euros more investment through DataPitch data holders than without access to such data. I think overall, it was a fantastic journey, which I personally enjoyed a lot. And I would like to thank the BDVA for the award and to congratulate the entire team. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Elena. And so we always say that data is oil, and then you find the money related to the oil, which is nice. So next one is Pedro that will uncover you what he is doing with AI. He's the co-founder and the CEO of a startup which is called Orbem. Pedro, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jean-Christophe. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. I know this is an event on big data and AI, so I'm going to do the very obvious thing and speak about eggs. Yeah, exactly, eggs. So Jean-Christophe mentioned that we have an interesting application, and that application evolved around eggs. There is a big data component, and I will explain it, but I'd like to just briefly touch upon the subject of why speaking about eggs is so important. And it actually turns out that the poultry industry grows 2 very different and separate breeds. They grow 1 breed that's only for meat and 1 breed that's only for eggs. And because you have these 2 different breeds, you also have 2 different problems. The breed that is specialized for meat, they're called broilers. They lay a lot of infertile eggs. And every time we take an infertile egg and we put it inside an incubator, we actually waste it. We can't eat this egg anymore. It ends up in the trash, and we waste time, energy, and money. On the other hand, the layer industry, well, males are pretty much useless because obviously males don't lay eggs, but males are also can't compete with broilers in the meat market, so we just get rid of them. And I'm talking about 9 billion eggs, infertile eggs, that we just throw in the trash, 7 billion males that we just get rid of. And we decided to change that. And we decided to change. You can go ahead, Jean-Christophe. I was about to introduce how we decided to change that. with AI-powered imaging technology. So we're building an MRI scanner, something that you would see in a hospital, but we are completely rethinking how you do MRI. So we are evolving MRI from slow, expensive, and complicated. That's normally what people think of MRI. And we are using AI to make it fast, cheap, and simple. And that really opens the door to a bunch of possibilities. Now you can imagine an industrial grade scanner like you see there on the picture that has superhuman vision. So we look inside the eggs, we analyze the data automatically. And then if you look at the next slide, you see where we're building the AI technology that automatically classifies the eggs, either fertile or infertile, or male, female. And that has huge impact. All of the eggs that we're wasting, we can now sell into the food markets. All of the chicks that we're killing, we can separate them. We can use them to, for instance, develop vaccines. And especially this year, I guess we all know the value of vaccines. And the big data value and the real change for us came through the European Data Incubator, because we applied with scientific results. I'm a nerd, you can tell, so my background is academic. We came from the university with a bunch of very good scientific results, and throughout the European Data Incubator, we really evolved from having scientific results to a minimum viable product that is ready for the industry. And that includes handling these large volume data streams. That includes storing the data in the cloud in such a way that we can also train our machine learning models. That includes having a repeatable process for labeling the data, and all of these things that we've been building, and all of the technology backbone that we've been building throughout the European Data Incubator really enabled us to transition from research to an MVP. So we're very happy about that, and we're also happy to receive this award. Thank you very much. It's been quite a ride, and we hope that we will be in the market, at least with the first version of our product, early next year. And we should be scanning then millions of eggs in the near future. And hopefully we can put an end to these very ugly practices and build a more sustainable future. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks a lot, Pedro, for your presentation and what you're trying to achieve with AI. I think it was quite I think it's quite amazing, and using all of this deep technique to save chicks. I think it's so great. So let's go to the runners-up. So there are no losers in this thing. I think we just have to make a choice, and I think really all of those stories are really good. So stay tuned for the people. I think we have 85 attendees, I think, which is great. Stay tuned, because you will also find really great insight, and I will give the talk to Chiara Napione, which is from Musketeer, and this is also an industrial use case actually, but not exactly on the egg and poultry area. Chiara, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Chiara Napione. I work in Comau, which is a multinational company of industrial automation partner in the European funded project Musketeer. Today, I present you a use case where Musketeer platform of federated machine learning is very helpful. Our challenge is to improve welding points quality. Now, please have a look at the left part of the picture where there is the welding robot. The welding robot records for each single point some welding parameters, such as the current between the electrodes, the resistance, and so on. Then moving on the right, we see that some of those pieces are sampled from the line to make an ultrasonic non-destructive testing for evaluating spot welding quality. The inspection consists of a manual testing made by an operator who classifies the points into different quality categories. Imagine that in a production line, less than 1% of productive pieces are sampled and verified, and the manual test on each piece is not done for each welding point, but it is limited to a few critical welding points. Therefore, only a scarce percentage of points, less than 1 in 10,000, are subject to the quality control. Our action consists of collecting this manual ultrasound testing data and combining them with the welding data provided by the robot in order to train an algorithm that will be able to classify the welding points using only data coming from the welding robot. In this way, we will be able to evaluate the quality of each single welding point, so 100% of points. Unfortunately, as I said, data from operators are few. And as you know, the more data you have, more accurate will be the model. Here, the importance of training the model on different datasets coming also from other factories. Here, another problem, collecting data from different factories raises important privacy issues. Data can be sensitive, confidential, and even personal, like, for example, the information about the operators providing the quality test. Musketeer project provides a platform with a robust solution, mixing a federated machine learning approach with privacy-preserving technologies, with highly customized encryption and data poisoning attacks mitigation. So thanks to this platform, different factories, different customers, even competitors can securely provide their data to locally train the model because they haven't to share them, and they all take advantage of a more robust model trained on everyone's data. So I conclude by saying that as Musketeer, we are sponsor of this event. And if you want to learn more, please visit our exhibition booth or our website. Thank you for your attention.
Grazie mille, Chiara. Then I think it's quite an quite interesting use case again, with a lot of very, I would say, great technology that was deployed by Musketeer. So we have to move to the next one. I think, Elena, this would be your turn again, but with another hat, which is for the crowd project.
Thank you, and hello again. Crowd was a 3 years venture of several big data institutions from all over Europe that included several universities, some large tech companies like TomTom and Atos, SMEs, as well as public administrations. From 2016 to 2019, we came together to address some of the greatest challenges faced by European cities today, that of using data and AI to improve public services for the benefit of everyone. So we proposed a smart transport solution that combined human, social, and artificial intelligence to promote alternative ways of transport, meaning fewer cars, more cycling, to optimize resources, and to engage with citizens in service design, data collection, and decision-making. We produced concepts, methods, and tools to collect, analyze, and use mobility data to design transport services that meet people's needs. And to do this, we resorted to a mix of machine learning, human-computer interaction, and incentives engineering. So insights and expertise from a whole range of disciplines beyond the purely technical, so that we enhance data availability and quality, reduce the costs of development, and drive citizen participation. One of the key things in Crowd, which is also very close to my heart, was to develop not just another sophisticated tech solution for a well-known challenge around transport, but to showcase the added value of people-centric approaches that are enabled through the use of different forms of crowdsourcing and participatory methods. So what did we do? We set up a citizen-led innovation lab in Trento in Italy, our public administration use case, to co-design use cases in transport and drive innovation. We then built a series of participatory tools. Some were mobile-based, some were using existing digital crowdsourcing services, such as Mechanical Turk. We gave these tools to citizens, residents of a city, tourists, open data activists, or to online crowd workers, so that they can collect more urban data, update it, or label it for use by machine learning algorithms. And in that context, it was very important for us to consider not just how well we can collect and label data, but also to be mindful of user experience and privacy and fairness. We ran no fewer than 7 data collection campaigns in Trento, with more than 220 citizens, collected 1,500 observations and a data set on model split that is now used to devise policy in the city. We then were able, with the same approach, to update several core transport data sets in the public administration, complementing existing efforts such as OpenStreetMap, and with 25% cost savings compared to traditional survey methodologies. We designed prediction algorithms for mobility patterns with state-of-the-art performance, but with much less training data. And finally, we built a data management platform that enables us to store, integrate, and analyze different forms of transport data with the help of Atos, TomTom, and others. This is used to build mobility dashboards to support decision-making within the administration. The pilot was a success, and it unlocked additional internal resources for follow-up smart city projects on transport and mobility, which build on top of the data sets and the solutions we delivered. There's more information on the project website, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the entire team for great collaboration over 3 years. Thank you.
Thanks again, Elena. I think it's I think having this type of tool, I think especially today with the situation about transport and now the role of transport in the COVID transmission, I think it's maybe quite important, and to have real data about the EU to manage policy, I think would be great. Wait, I have a problem with my screen. So now it's the turn of Ramon that will present you a use case around banking. Once again, you will see there is a lot of quite interesting technology that are used to address the problem they are tackling. Ramon, this is your turn.
Sorry, Jean-Christophe, I think
Hi, good morning.
We cannot see the slides now.
Oh.
I guess you have to share the screen again.
Yes, wait, it's more than. Voila. Okay.
No, it's coming, I think. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Sorry, Ramon, for interrupting.
Yeah, sorry. Hi, I'm Ramon Martín de Pozuelo, and I'm project manager at the Security Innovation and Transformation team in CaixaBank, and I'm going to tell you the story of CaixaBank in IBDAS. Okay. Continuing the storytelling. Once upon a time, we have a bank. We have a bank called CaixaBank that actually is one of the leaders in banking in Spain, one of the biggest in Europe. And we are very proud of how we were using big data and all the data that we collected and how we are using that. And in 2018, it comes IBDAS, and the project said to us, why if you have a self-service solution to do the big data analytics in the cloud? And we said, wow, no, because we are very reluctant for using big data or for using our data outside our premises. We are a bank, and at least we have very good reputation of how we are maintaining the privacy of the data of our clients. So, but they said, okay, but if you use synthetic data and you use this synthetic data for doing this big data analytics in the cloud, and we said, okay, let's try it. And that's how this journey in this project started. And we wanted to test it because we have this huge infrastructure for big data, but it's not as agile as we wanted. And we want to do this big data analytics in the cloud to test new opportunities and new solutions. And we started with this idea of synthetic data, but at some point in the project, we realized that it wasn't enough. It was good to test with the synthetic data, and we had very good approaches for testing the performance of new solutions outside our premises. But what we wanted to do is really to share this data with others and really have real data outside our premises. So we started studying how we can do this big data analytics in the cloud, maintaining the privacy. Okay, as I said, I'm project manager in the security, innovation, and transformation. So we really care about the security and the privacy of the data. So we studied different solutions for encrypting the data and doing the big data analytics with encrypted data, with 3 different industrial use cases with real data, and we obtained some benefits especially on streamline the process of third parties and our data analysis from external entities to analyze this data. And we achieve a reduction of time for accessing the data and for being much more agile for creating new proof of concept development with real data in our company. So that project triggered our mind on how we are using the big data and how we can use the big data in the future. And that's mainly the story that we had in IBDAS. If you are more interested in more details than that, I have another parallel session as well this afternoon in the financial service session, and we have also a booth from IBDAS project with all the entities and partners there.
Thanks a lot, Ramon. I invite everybody to, if you're interested in synthetic data, privacy, security, to join your session, because I think what you did was very good in this respect. I have a background in security and privacy, by the way, so I was quite interested by your story. Now, let's go to Laura. That I think it's a totally different setup, even if we are talking also about market, but it's not a financial market, it's a data market service. So Laura, the floor is yours.
Okay, so thank you. My name is Laura, and I work at Zabala Innovation Consulting, and I am part of the Data Market Services Accelerator coordinating team. So next slide, please. Data Market Services is a consortium of 10 entities, namely accelerators, consultants, lawyers, universities, and a marketing agency, which are based all around Europe. And it is a project that was launched in year 2019 under European Union's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Program. So Data Market Services was born in a context of extensive growth in the worldwide market for big data technology and services, being data volumes projected to continue increasing exponentially in the future. However, we realized that there was an important data skills gap in the market, since there was a significant mismatch between the demand and the supply of data workers. We also found out that this gap was especially relevant in Europe, and that it was most problematic for SMEs and for startups. And also, SMEs and startups were also found to be facing some additional market barriers, such as SMEs inclusion, competing markets, standards, and regulation. Thus, Data Market Services was created with the purpose of helping data-centric SMEs and startups in Europe to overcome these market barriers. And the way of helping them is through the provision of free services in 5 key areas, which are fundraising, acceleration, standards and legal, data skills, and promotion. So Data Market Services is now in its 2nd year of execution, and we have already provided services to 100 SMEs and startups. Last year, in 2019, we provided more than 50 services to a portfolio of 50 startups. We facilitated them more than 40 meetings with investors, and we helped them raise more than 5 million euros through private and public fundraising. Moreover, we promoted their projects in more than 10 international events, such as last year's European Big Data Value Forum in Helsinki, and more than 60% of the startups participating in our program have increased their teams after this experience. We are currently providing services to a portfolio of another 50 companies, and we have introduced some improvements with respect to last year's program. For instance, we are now providing them with an increased number of funding opportunities, and we are also specifically addressing COVID-19 and its consequences on worldwide business. But Data Market Services does not end here, since we still have 1 year left to continue providing services and value added to another portfolio of 50 startups during the whole 2021. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Laura. I think this also resonates with what was said during the introduction of EBDVF about the barrier for startups on skills or access to the market and to big companies that don't want to take a risk. I think the initiative like Data Market Services or EDI and so forth also help in this respect. Thanks a lot. Let's go to the next one. So Now we'll have Fernando, which is also the data market actually. So it's after the service we've got the head, and it's working for a small company that develops some interesting services using big data.
Hello, thank you,
Fernando?
Jean-Christophe. Good morning, everyone. My name is Fernando Perales. I am the head of Job Research Lab. We are a company specialized in digital marketing. In order to show our success story, I would like to introduce you to Manuel. Manuel is one of our account manager who is responsible of to achieve our clients' goals in terms of impact. And he realized that there is a lot of external factors and variables that really impact the performance of the digital marketing campaigns. So he is very skilled. He has a lot of data covering a lot of countries, languages, topics, but he doesn't have enough tools or human skills in order to process such amount of information. So thanks to the collaboration with EW Shop, we were able to integrate all the data value chains from the data preparation, covering all the cleaning, aggregation, reconciliation aspects of the data, taking into account that we are managing more than 10 terabytes of information. It's a huge amount of data. In order to correlate this marketing information with external factors, we link them with the weather and also calendar events in order to detect which are the main topics or the main interests of the society depending on these factors. And we use that information to model the behavior of the topics, which categories, for example, finance, travel, insurance, are more interested for the audience, depending on the weather for sure, and also for the month of the year. And also, and then we combine that with keyword performance prediction. That is something that we are developing internally. So we were able to predict which are the main variables defined in the keyword, like the cost per click or the probability of a keyword to impress in the Google ranking, for example. And thanks of that, Manuel now has a complete toolkit to manage the campaign and to support the decision and to optimize the configuration of the campaign based on this new framework or these new aspects. Based on that, now Manuel is able to generate web traffic, relevant traffic, that is audience to our client's landing page in just one day, just after the campaign launch. Take into account that today or before that, he has spent almost a month to generate such amount of traffic, and now almost half or 50% of the keywords used in marketing campaigns appear in the rank. So this means that all the keywords are relevant for the audience. That's the story. That's a success story. That's something that we are using today in production. So I would like to thank the BDVE to select us as a runner-up in this success story contest. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Fernando. I think there is something unique in your story. If you compare to the competition, we always compare against the US, but I think the 17 languages, I think it's something that is really unique and that really make, I think, your proposition value far ahead of a lot of competitors that you can have in the States. So it's a great, also this richness of Europe with respect to languages. Now, the last runner-up on the startup is UbiWare. There is a little typo here, sorry for that, which is a story about enabling CG in Europe, which is the story of UbiWare within the European ecosystem, which is a Portuguese company. But we will talk about it because they're also the winner of the video. So I will give the floor to Julija, sorry, to talk about that, about the video part of our contest.
Thank you, Jean-Christophe. Hi, everyone. My name is Julija, and I'm really happy to present here today the best success story video. And why is it so important? Well, according to some researchers, people remember 60% of what they see, 30% of what they hear, and only 10% of the message. And you will be able to reconfirm it. You will be able to reconfirm it by yourself. Yes, after Jean-Christophe will change the slide. So presentation is really something which quite a lot of people still find rather difficult, rather complicated. And actually, quite a lot of say that they are a little bit afraid of doing the presentations. So when we were discussing how to improve our best success story contest, the presentation seemed like a logical next step, something which should be introduced, some new challenge for our contestants. Initially, we have planned that it would be a presentational stage, but yeah, according to all the world changes at the moment, it turned into best success story video. To prepare our contestants for this for this challenge, we have created a specific webinar where we talked about tips and tricks of how to do a good presentation. We talked about such things as structure, as how to do visuals, how to present it, what are the main mistakes which you can do and how to avoid them, how basically to prepare yourself to go in front of your audience, and how to answer questions, how not to be afraid, how to be the best. The webinar itself was open to all the general public, not only to our contestants, and the slides are still available on BDVE website. You can look them up if you are interested. As Jean-Christophe has already mentioned, we had 10 participants in this contest, and I should say that it was really, really obvious that all of them really put their heart into it, not even talking about time and efforts. And all the videos were had some very positive sides in one way or another. And without further ado, I would like to show you right now our winner story, the UrbanPedro story, and I will hope you will enjoy it as much as we did. Let me share my screen.
With a team of 100 inspired people and 200 successful projects, UrbanPedro is a Portuguese high-tech SME that takes the best of technology to improve people's lives all over the world.
Nós sempre acreditamos e acreditamos muito. Acredito que este dia importante é só o início de futuro desenho da UrbanPedro.
Let's go back. The year is 2007, and in the lovely city of Aveiro, Nuno and Rui, young software researchers, start their business. We start creating software solutions, partnering with a telecom operator in 2008, and later, joining our first international project. Our team grew, and so did the ambition. We proudly presented Ubi Studio, a real-time multi-user whiteboard software suite. Thankfully, digital cameras have evolved a lot since then. And so did Ubi Studio. It became Collab, a collaborative web platform compatible with all devices. Sadly, it reached the market at the same time as Google Drive and did not stick. But it sharpened our sense of opportunity. That's when we introduced Bike Emotion, an open bike sharing system, later launched as an independent spin-off, selling up to 20 systems and 3,000 e-bikes worldwide. We also create UMeter, a system to measure the quality of service for internet access that is acquired by Anacom. We develop RProbe for digital terrestrial television operators and regulators to monitor the DVB signal broadcasting in real time. Anacom partners with us again, highlighting our skills in big data and data analysis. With expertise in real-time data exchange and intuitive interfaces, we are reaching more than 1 million euros of turnover and are the youngest Portuguese company with CMMI Level 2 quality certification. The two co-founders start looking at European-level strategies, participating in European projects using interoperability and standards to bring data to life and create smart urban services. In 2015, we participate in 2 other projects. Under Phase 1 of the 5G PPP program, raising our part in the 5G ecosystem, but bringing something more. In SelfNet, we met ProF Group, a telecommunications multinational company reaching for the smart cities market. ProF invests in UbiWare, initiating a long-lasting partnership. Noticing our contribution to Sonata, i2CAT invites us to take part in 5G City on Phase 2 of the 5G PPP program. 5G City truly unlocked our innovative vision, joining our core areas, smart cities and future telecommunications. It introduced a 5G neutral host platform to manage a smart infrastructure with 5G, edge computing, and IoT capabilities. In this open business model, cities and infrastructure owners can rent the infrastructure to network operators and service providers to deploy their services. Our offices were starting to get too small for all our ideas, and we moved to our new home, preserving the essence of more than 100 years of history. Back to 5G. This neutral host approach in dense environments such as cities perfectly matched our vision, from which we created the city nervous system. See it as the human nervous system, covering two main parts: urban platform, holistic view and management of a city, and the distributed network of smart urban infrastructure powered by edge computing. It allows the combination of many sectors in one ecosystem for cities to make better decisions based on cross-contact data from diverse sources. We've turned the city nervous system into a reality, from idea to product, starting a joint venture called Smart Lamppost with ProF and Metelo Galva. It uses urban furniture to provide 5G network, EV charging stations, and edge computing, among other plug-and-play functionalities. It is one of our flagship products. A highly strategic vision, solid partnerships such as BVDA, AIoTi, and Urtico, and European standards and research initiatives defined our success. Today, we are a 5G enabler in Europe, with more than 80 international partners and 200 projects, making 50 cities better places to live. In the future, we will keep pursuing our motto, turning disruptive ideas into innovative solutions, from vision to reality.
Okay. Jean-Christophe, floor is yours.
Thank you, Julija. So I have to thank all of the. So first of all, I would like to thank everybody that was presenting today. I think we are even ahead of time. So when we are setting up the agenda, say we will never manage to have all of these people presenting all of their stories, and we made it, and you made it. I think it's so great. So I want to thank you about your story, but also about your presentation. I think they were crisp, and we should have more of this very down to the point presentation that then people, if you're interested, and I invite all of the people to contact directly the different participants on the WOA app, or to send or to discover more in detail their success story. I put on the chat of Zoom the URL where you can find the best success story award. Then we will have the winner, the runners up, the video if you like it, and then you have all of the participants. So for example, here you have the full list of participants. So we had a great story from Cloud Button, so other story also from Data Pitch, then from a very interesting story also about the policy from eSides, and 4 story for Track and Now about electric vehicles, fleet management, and so forth. It was quite interesting, and so they are all very interesting. So I invite you to discover them, or to go to their booth on WOA or on their website. And then also, I think on the startup, once again, it was quite diverse. We had some Dutch state mines optimization thanks to AI or tank containers, metal manufacturing, speech to text, and what you've seen about the campaign booster, and beware, and not to mention also, not least, the egg story. So I think I think it's quite interesting. It's quite diverse. I think everybody can find something that they will like. So I really encourage you to join and to look at it whenever you have time. So with that, maybe some people would like to add a word from the contestant. Nope. Okay. So you get thank you for everybody again. Thank you for all of the attendees. We get more than 100 participants, I think, which is great, and can show you how people also like this type of series, especially quite early in the morning. We hope that we will run a third version of the best success story, and that we will have a in real life experience. And in this case, I think it would be great to have all of you present also next year on stage. Thanks a lot to everybody. Julija, last word to finish.
Yes, and we are also welcoming everyone to participate next year in the best success story video or presentation, however it will be. Yes, it's scary, but it is such a great possibility to learn and to present yourself.
Thanks a lot, Julija, and thanks a lot to everybody. And you get 5 minutes to grab a coffee, which is great. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.